If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification.
So we have moved today out of the designated campground. Now we're on, well, it's conservation area is what it is, but it's ran by the Bureau of Land Management. Here in this spot here is just northwest of Grants, New Mexico. We're 47 miles northwest or west or whatever on Highway 40 going towards Arizona. So today is Wednesday. And you'll see this video 10 days or 11 days after I've recorded it. We decided not to travel. See, we stayed 7 days at the last campground. That's all we were allowed to stay at. It was an established campground. This El Mapias, I think is what it's called, conservation area, is absolutely phenomenal. The ranger district takes care of this place meticulously. Our plan is to go to the National Forest in Arizona, but we didn't want to do it on Wednesday. Like I said, last week we got there on Wednesday. We traveled from Amarillo, Texas to Grants, New Mexico, which was like, I don't know, 375 miles. Took us all day to get there. The wind is what slows us down. Maybe you can hear the wind now. In the afternoons, the wind really picks up in New Mexico, and so you can't drive very fast. I slow down to about 55 miles an hour, and when I'm climbing hills, I turn on the flashers and do 45. We got to the campground pretty late and I had to do the live feed. Well, the further west I go, the earlier my live feed is. My live feed, I started when I was on the East Coast, 7 p.m. Eastern. Well, every time zone you go over to the west, it's an hour early. So now the live feed is at 5 p.m. So you're pushing so hard to get to the campground by 5 o'clock. Of course, I want to be there by 4. Well, I just didn't want to push it that hard this week. So we found a campground 47 miles northwest of where we were before. You probably can see the highway, and there's construction going on over there. So it took us about 3 hours to make this 47 miles because of that construction. There was an accident and construction. So we did today, we got up early, and there were some trails. Again, fascinating how this works, but in the El Mapias conservation area, there's this lava flats, and I'll put all the spelling down here because I didn't memorize everything. But the lava flow trail was really cool. It's a mile long. There's another trail that's 7 miles long, but it would have taken you 6 to 7 hours to complete because it's not, even terrain. There's climbing and descending, but what it is the McCarthy volcano or crater, I think it's called crater, erupted 3,900 years ago, and it laid all this lava down. So I've been, for the most of my life, been watching the volcanoes in Hawaii, and anytime there's a Nat Geo episode about the volcano, well, I go watch it. Well, I didn't even know there was a volcano here in New Mexico, but it erupted just like it is in Hawaii. And so I'm walking on all this lava, and there's lava rock, loose lava, gravel, very lightweight, But Carolyn, like I said, she's getting up to 57 years old. She's got to watch her back and watch her step. And there's these huge crevices, cracks that you kind of got to hop over. And the only way to keep track of the trail is these rock stacks. They stack rocks like every 25 feet. And it's very easy to lose track of where you're walking. But before you enter the trail, it says be cautious, wear good clothing, make sure you carry plenty of water, and follow these stacks of rocks. Don't leave one set stack until you can see the next stack, because before you know it, you've lost the rocks because they blend in so well. Of course, you want to get off the trail occasionally to see there's these huge bowls that you want to go look at and look down into, but you got to get off the trail. Well, as soon as you walk off the trail, you lose these little stacks of rocks. So the only way we could do it safely was to have one person stand at the rock stack, the other one go look at the bowl, come back, and then the next one go look at the bowl. But they said at least a couple times a year, somebody gets lost in these trails, and they've actually had to recover several people who didn't make it, and there's one person they still haven't found. We saw this, and this wasn't, you know, it was pretty impressive, but it wasn't a huge hike, maybe a quarter mile on a sidewalk, basically. And it was called the Arch, the El Mapius Arch. And so we stopped there real quick, take a look. And then we went to the sandstone bluffs. Didn't know what this was going to be. Now recognize this is all within 25 miles of the campground. And so, you know, we got all this in by 11 o'clock. Breathtaking view. Now what I learned about these sandstones, these bluffs, these sandstone bluffs, was they, in the Jurassic period, you know, millions of years ago, these were sand dunes. And they compressed over time and turned into stone. So it's sandstone. And so now, you know, the water gets into the crevices of it, and it freezes and cracks and makes huge boulders. Now, what's really neat is you see these sandstone bluffs right next to these lava fields. Well, now there's a couple things I want to tell you. You know, doing these day trips isn't really easy, and still be able to conduct your life, because you got to live. You know, I get up in the morning, I have to work, I have to edit a video, I have to check on my online business, and then, you know, I'm charging the battery. But you can't charge the battery until 6 o'clock, because these campgrounds, there's quiet time, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I get at 5 o'clock, and I try to do some editing, and then 6 o'clock, I turn on the generator. Well, I need 3 to 4 hours, really, to charge the battery. When we're out doing these day trips, we're leaving at 7:30. Now, the truck does charge the battery, but it still takes a long time for the battery to charge. So what I did today was I stuck this new generator up underneath the truck. It fits underneath the truck. I chained it to the truck. I could charge it while we were doing these trails. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.